Hello, this video will review how to use 25 Live, which you can use to make classroom reservations. 25 Live will allow faculty and staff to reserve classroom space on campus other than their typical banner assigned room. So for your everyday classroom, you wouldn't need to do 25 Live. That actually gets done through Banner and it's pre-set up for you. So this would only be for specialty type meetings. A faculty member might use this if they want their class to meet in maybe a computer lab or another room on campus in another building for a few days. I encourage you to do so early and ensure that you get your confirmation for the reservation so that it doesn't get double booked. And you might also consider using this reservation system for things that are non teaching events, things like club meetings, department meetings, that kind of thing. Also, keep in mind that 25 Live only reserves the classroom space itself. If you need additional assistance, you want to make sure to put in a Help Start ticket, which is helpstart@gordonstate.edu, for special technical setup if you need extra computers or extra things, technical equipment in the room other than what is already set up in there. And if you need any facilities set up, including microphones, things like that, you would want to put in an Impulse ticket. The first step will be to log in to 25 Live. So you'll go to the Gordon website, you'll scroll to the bottom of the page and choose the login station. Here you'll be asked to log in with your Gordon email username and password. Once doing so, you'll see a listing of of resources that are available only to faculty and staff, and one of those will be the 25 Live. So here it is, 25 Live Campus Event Calendar and Facility Request. So after choosing that link, you'll go to this website. And so this website is 25 Live. It's important, however, the first step is to make sure to log into the actual system so that when you do pick a room and go through the booking process, it is saved under your account. So make sure in this top right corner that you choose to sign in and you log in with your Gordon email username and password information. Upon signing in, you'll see this screen, and in the middle, these are the two probably easiest ways to find spaces on campus. So it depends on several factors. So if you know when your event is going to occur and you just want to find a location, so I know that I have an event tomorrow at 2 o'clock and I don't really have a preference for a location, I just need a specific room, I can look for availability tomorrow at 2. On the other side of things, if I know where I want my event to take place, I might be looking for a time. So if I know I want to use the Fine Arts Auditorium for something and I want to make sure that the time I have in mind isn't booked, or I might even be open to other times, I might want to choose that. So it kind of depends on if you are more particular when it's going to take place or where it's going to take place. So let's use the example of I know when my event should take place and I want to find a location. So let's say that I am having an event tomorrow, and let's say that we're having it from 1 to 3 p.m. So I can put that in. I can even put in the number of attendees, which will help in determining the location because some classrooms can hold more than others. I can even search within a specific building if I know, hey, I kind of want to stay in this building or that building. I can search within that, or if I don't choose one, it will just search throughout the whole campus. But let's say I'm really wanting to kind of be in the nursing building there. Then I'll choose Show Me What's Available. So based upon this, I pulled one result back. You want to be careful in reading the title because here it's the Nursing Allied Health Practice Lab. So that obviously is in a class or a classroom or a regular room I would want to maybe have a meeting in. It's one of their practice sim labs. So probably not a great idea. So keep in mind though that this pulled searches for 25 to 30 people. So am I willing to go to a classroom that has a larger capacity, which in that case, yeah, that's fine. So I can choose that and it will research for me. So in this case, I pull a practice lab and an AP lab. Obviously, I can't meet in those rooms, so maybe I even want to go for a larger capacity, or I could just come here and up the overall capacity if I want to. All right, now we're talking. So here I can see that I have several classrooms that I can use, a computer lab or whatnot. So I can click on this to go to the area to explore it more. So by clicking on it, it will tell me what features are available in the room. It will tell me the capacity. Sometimes it will actually have an image of the room. So any specific details that might affect whether or not I want to use this room will be available here. So if I decide I want to use that classroom, I can choose use this location. And then I would begin to fill out the form to actually reserve it. And I'll go through that in just a minute. Let's look at this from another angle and look at it from I know where I want my event to take place, but I would like to choose a time. Ultimately, you'll end up at the same place, but how you do it's a little bit different. So let's choose this one. So here I can search the specific location, or I can say if I don't know that location, let me just look at all the different groups. So from in this drop down, I can choose different buildings on campus to look in. So maybe I'm wanting to reserve a computer lab. So let me choose computer labs. And it will show me all the computer labs on campus. Again, make sure to read where they are and then any specific information to them, keeping in mind the max capacity because we have some that are larger than others. In terms of availability, it might be easier to look at it through availability by week. And this will kind of give you almost like a grid or like a calendar that you can look through. So from here, you're able to see for each specific room when it is available. So if I highlight over this, it will tell me the actual room. Now keep in mind this one says do not book, so you want to make sure to read the comments. So let's look at this one. It is the Academic 215 Computer Lab classroom. It tells me what's available. It tells me my space is 24. So from here I can look and see when it is available. So in these green boxes means that there is a class during that time. So obviously I cannot book for that time. The white is just showing you that this is AM. The blue is just showing you that it's PM. So you can make sure you're reserving it at the correct time. So you can compare this, you can keep scrolling down. This one is Russell 106, and so you can see it's pretty much wide open except for one course. And again, with all of these different ones, just highlighting here to see what is available. Now let's say instead of looking for a computer lab in multiple buildings, I wanted to look for a specific room in one building. So maybe I want to go back to Russell Hall. I'm going to choose Russell Hall. And it would show me a listing of the different rooms and then their availability. You might think to yourself, it's kind of difficult to kind of hover here, find out what the room is, and then look and then compare it and scroll down and compare it to something else. So in that case, instead of looking at availability by week, you might like to look at it just by regular availability. It's a little bit more condensed. And over here on the side, you have all the classrooms listed. If you just kind of hover over them, it will tell you the specific name of the room. And then all in one chart, you're able to see what's available. So if I know I'm looking for something at 9 o'clock a.m., which would be this square, I know everything is available. If it's starting at 9:30, which is the second square, so the first is 9 to 9:30, the second is 9:30 to 10. So if I'm looking at 9:30, I know certain ones are available, but we do have a class here and we have classes here. So that makes it a little bit easier to see all of it at one time. So let's say that at 9 o'clock, I want to use maybe this 108 classroom. It looks good. I think it'll work for me. So I'm going to choose this. I'm going to choose to create an event. And then we're going to go to this event form. And this is the same despite how you get to it, despite if you look for the classroom first or if you look for the time first. Regardless, this is going to take you to the same form. To begin, you want to give it a name and a title. These are a little bit different. The title can be more descriptive. You have more characters that you can use. Then you want to select the type of event so that it will get categorized appropriately. Again, this would be a meeting. And then the primary organization that's responsible for this. So if this is going to be academic affairs, if it's a certain department, that way you can kind of they can be categorized by where they fall into. And then you can put how many people you think will end up attending. You can add in a description. Again, this will go on the calendar so that other people can see it. So if they're trying to book it, they'll say, oh, yeah, this is the event that I'm looking for. Also, if maybe a person doesn't know where the event is and they're looking on the calendar, they say, oh, yeah, by reading the description, that's the meeting I'm supposed to be in. So having a description can be helpful. And now for putting in the date and time. So easily enough, it's from 9 to 9:30, that's 30 minutes. What if I say, well, actually it's from 9 to 10:30, that's an hour and 30 minutes. We're good to go. Now what happens if this isn't all on the same day? I can actually uncheck this and it will show me that it's 9 o'clock to 10:30. Now, what I might also do is choose that it doesn't begin on the same, begins and ends on the same day so that I can have it as a repeating meeting. And so in doing so, I can choose repeating pattern and I can choose for it to repeat weekly or monthly and select how I want that to occur. Or if it's not going to repeat consistently for a long amount of time, I might just select on the calendar the specific days that it will repeat. And then from there, I can view the occurrences and see that I have it marked for a meeting on these 3 days in the same location. So scrolling on down, we see that our location has already been selected. We've already done that part. And so then we want to make sure to put in who is going to be the requester for this event, because you'll get emails regarding the request. So you want to make sure that you are in place for that. We also suggest that you select a category for this event. So this is academic because it's an academic meeting, or you can select more than one just to help us when we pull reports know what's being used and how. So we can add in comments, confirmation, and internal notes here. Know that the comments is pushed to the scheduler and the open schedule so that others can see it. And then the internal notes would be just to the approver of the event. So if it's something that you don't want put on the entire calendar for everyone to see, you might want to put it in the internal notes. All right, so we'll continue to scroll down and then just make sure that you read this note. And again, it's just a reminder that you're reserving the space. You're not requesting extra help in terms of facilities. If you need facilities help, you'll need to include an impulse ticket. If you are going to need IT help or any technology that's not already built into the classroom, then you'll need to put in a help star. So you'll agree that you read that. And then you can go ahead and preview, if you like, what you have included and what you are reserving. And then we will save that. So once saving, you should see this confirmation page, and you should also see some notifications. So keep in mind at this bottom one that when you save it, that means that you sent it to you've requested it, but it doesn't mean that you have actually reserved the event yet. Once the requester or once the approver actually goes through the approval process, then you will receive an email confirmation say it's actually confirmed. So just kind of know that. So this is the example of what the email looks like once you initially save it and you send it to be approved. It will show up here, and then you'll get an additional email saying that it was actually approved. So let's look at a couple of other neat things you might want to do here. So let's say that I requested this, but I'm thinking, what if I might have to change something? So what I can do is actually star that here, star my event. And so when I'm back on my main page, notice over here on the side it shows my starred events. And so this is just like a quick bookmark, if you will, for me to be able to get back to this event, especially if I'm thinking I'll need to edit it at some point. What's also neat is you can star a location. So if there is a certain building or a certain computer lab or a certain classroom that you like to book, instead of having to go through and search for it, you can star it here so that you can just automatically, when you want to make a request, automatically to go and see if it's available. So let's find one that we would like to use. So I can come over here to the side and search locations, and I'm going to search computer labs. So let's say I really like to use this IC 102 computer lab. So I'm going to star beside it, which is going to bookmark that location for me. So now when I log in to 25 Live, over here on the side, I'll have it as a starred location, which means instead of having to go search for it, I can just come right here and say, hey, I have a meeting coming up. I really want to use that 102 Lab because it's my favorite. Let me just go right here and see if it's available. And then it'll take me right to that area, and then I'll just be able to look at it maybe by the week and then find my event and see if it is available and book right from there. So that's probably a very helpful tool if you have a specific location. So all in all, that is how you use the 25 Live tool.